Are we in a bubble? Are businesses overvalued? I think if you look at the profit, they probably are. But that's not how financing works on new businesses. You need to take a far more laid-back approach to it as to whether it's a good or a bad thing and what you do about it.
I think a lot of businesses are embracing AI to different degrees. Some probably are not utilizing it because they don't want it to take over the entire operations, because obviously there is governance around how it's used depending on what industry you work in. For example, legal, you're not going to have your team drafting legal documents and sending it to clients with their names.
You say that if you again go on the internet, you find people doing entire legal cases based on ChatGPT, and other AIs are available, and you can go very well because it doesn't work. I think there clearly are advantages of it, and as time goes on, people will learn how to use it better. But we are starting from a place where most people don't know how to use it, and they view it as a threat. So most people are not going to really want to go down that route if they can avoid it. Certainly, it saves you money, apparently. And if it's saving you money, you'd think more small businesses, particularly because they are the ones who are flexible and can't find it more difficult to pass their costs on. They are the ones that one suspects will be using it more. But I mean, the other thing you need to understand is what's going to happen next? Are we going to get a bubble? Is it going to burst?
I think that bubble, like all trends, it will burst. It's just how will it burst in this instance? We've got a lot of new AI tools coming to the market, and when the newest tool comes, I guess the one that's least utilized becomes redundant, and we will probably see those businesses they will go bust, but it will be a silent departure from the marketplace.
But I think that the analogy I would use in 2000, the dot-com bubble of 2002, there are four particular businesses that I'll bring up. One, there's Google, which everyone knows about, Facebook, or Meta as it is now, then had Friends Reunited, which people of a certain age will certainly remember, and then you've got Yahoo. All four were there. They've all been around since the late 90s. Friends Reunited worked very well initially. Very similar to Friends in terms of contacting people you know. Didn't really keep up. Facebook took it out. Yahoo was much bigger than Google. I think there was a time when the expectation was that Yahoo was going to buy Google, and then it didn't. And now Yahoo's still going, still worth hundreds of millions of pounds, but it's not a Google.
Yeah.
So I think the key thing is that when the bubble bursts, the ones that are really valuable are the ones that continue, and the ones that aren't valuable just lose their capital, lose their ongoing their ongoing drive, and it's they're the ones that leave us.
So just to add to that, I remember MySpace. It peaked quite quickly. I know it was very common, especially at uni, for me to don't know if anyone remembers High Five, but I had a High Five account and I had a MySpace account, and once Facebook came to the scene, gone.
Yeah. Just I was looking in my office, working for a big four chartered accountants when Facebook came out, and we never spent any time at all at lunchtime watching it and learning how to use it. Never did that at all. I mean, the other point is, what comes first? Is it the lack of capital, or is it the laying off of, is it the business closing, or is it the staff being laid off? I would say that the only thing that is certain in life is change. I think we can all remember COVID, and we can all remember how when a year or so after COVID, there was a lot of businesses that shut down immediately, and they were businesses. They tended to be bars, restaurants, things that had struggled. That even though they'd had lots of support, they either couldn't get the staff to reopen. There were many things. Now, I would say that with an AI vision, as time goes on, you will need less staff to do what you're doing at the moment. So if you're growing your business, then the staff required for a certain level of turnover will drop over time. If you're choosing not to do that and the turnover doesn't go up, then you're going to struggle. You need to keep an eye on where the future is going to be, rather than where you'd like it to be. I mean, the world is constantly changing, and so that's the only certainty we have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other point is what is the bubble, and what happens afterwards. I mean, I know everyone thinks, oh my God, all the capital's gone, and all these businesses close overnight. I would say that capital was coming out of a lot of businesses and has been for over a year. We are seeing, I'm sure you're seeing too, people who got investment for their business, got it to a certain point, and are now looking for that further investment, and it's not there.
No, in some cases, which is an ideal scenario, they're acquired. Yeah. A business buys out the best parts, and it can still continue. But majority, unfortunately, they get the investment, they get the capital, and it just gets burnt in staff costs. Obviously, expanding and I guess making the software more appealable. But if there's not an end user that's going to buy and implement that AI tool,
I suppose the other point is to think about is most AI tools will be being built by people that really like AI tools. It's great because it means it's something you really care about and you're going to come up with a product that really works. But until you can find people that actually share your vision, you're never going to have any customers. So there is a very good prospect that the business you set up is possibly a business you won't be able to run profitably because it won't be your mindset. You won't have enough people that will share your vision of life. It's not, I wouldn't call that failure necessarily. It's just working out. Those that run the business tend to be different from those that set up. Just a fact of life. I suppose the other thing to think about is where are we going to get to? Is AI going to be I know I hear some people, certainly from our kitchen table, telling me the world is going to come to an end and this is going to be it. I mean, do you think that's right?
I would say that is still fiction. We're nowhere near, we're not going to see the Terminator pop out of nowhere anytime soon. It's not going to happen. AI still strongly relies on a human mind, directing it and it being the solution to a pain, to a problem. When that, just going back to the bubble bursting, like social media, like Facebook and the other social media platforms that we discussed, Facebook for me burst the bubble. It became very relevant. It connected people, and for me, it's an AI solution that is able to, I guess, utilize all the best parts of the other tools that we see, and it just gives us or a business the best user experience. So straight away, it's like, okay, I can utilize that in my business. Right now, we are inundated with so many AI tools in this bubble. And all it takes is just for one to market itself as the solution. I mean, ChatGPT is a very common AI tool, whether or not it's the free version, the paid version. And obviously it integrates with other AI solutions as well. So it's on its way.
Two stories one to remind you of. We went to a battle later, remember, a few weeks ago. And the guy there who was an investment analyst, wasn't he? And he said, key fact of life is, will what is happening now stop people buying coffee in Seattle? And it's like, it won't. So I don't think the world is coming to an end briefly. And the other one, in terms of the bubble bit, the best way to make money on any bubble is to put money into loads of things. So if you'd invested in Facebook and Friends Reunited, you would have won. Because the profit you'd have made on Facebook would have dwarfed the loss you'd have made on Friends Reunited. If you'd put money into Google and Yahoo, same thing. So it encourages people to put You have to win, you have to play. And if you sit there going, well, I just think this one thing is going to work, you really, it's not, you're putting yourself at massive risk of losing everything. So, I mean, that's the other thing. Do you think companies are adopting AI quickly enough?
I don't think it's happening as quickly as I guess a lot of AI solutions would like to. I mean, we get approached left, right, and centre from companies that are pitching AI solutions, whether it's by email or at events. You do a post on LinkedIn and you just put AI, and someone will jump in with a comment. But back to your question, because I am literally about to go that way. I think there is a slight hesitation about letting AI in the business. It depends on what industry you're in. I've seen service-based industries happily use it for doing their onboarding, and also I've seen companies that rely heavily on telesales using AI tools or AI solutions to do their cold calls. So it is being utilized, but when you obviously go into other industries like ours, like legal, there's a certain governance about how it should be used, and when it's obviously used wrongly, the legal implications.
Well, I could just say, you probably just remember Little Britain when the computer says no. But to say, well, why have you done this? Well, because the computer said no. Well, didn't you go and speak to an insolvency practitioner? Yes. And we fed all this stuff into an and that's what the computer said. And then that's the responsibility of the named person that's been a bit of responsibility. And do you have any views about whether bubbles have changed over time?
I mean, this is an example where it's, that the AI bubble it's quite complex because it keeps reinventing itself. It was just answer a question to now create a video of Jeremy from 14, 20 years ago, and it looks like you from 20 years ago.
I was in school then, by the way.
I was. Oh, okay. Well, 5 years ago. So it's. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how long this is going to last because it is just building on itself. I got the latest update on my Galaxy, and it told me that I can translate in real time. So I could be having a conversation, it can translate in real time. Someone watching it's like, oh, that's always been around. But for me, it's like, I've got the power to translate in real time. Straight away, someone that I've met that does translations, it's like, oh, well, I can do it on my phone. So I think we are, that bubble is still...
I think the point I would make, I think I would want to make on that is, when these things are being built, the people building them don't know how the customers are going to use them. Something like that, the person that's going to make the most money out of that is someone that can use that element, adds it to something else that no one's thought about, and then they've got a business. And it could be really straightforward. And all they've done is they've identified two things that no one else has identified as being, add 1 and 1 to make 3, and that's adding value. But I had I got inquiry the other day about a guy who, for a business that was doing translation. And I said, I actually said to him, is AI destroying your business? And he said, no. You can do translation on the AI, and it's good enough to get a vague idea about what it says. The minute you start doing technical documents, it fails. Or if you've read the news recently, if you start doing negotiation documents to end wars in Central Europe, and that doesn't look good either because everyone knows what it is. But you get to the point where you still need the person to roll their eyes on it, saying this is either a good idea or a bad idea. And that's where I think it's going to be. You won't be sitting there putting red marks for your... So when I started, you did a letter and someone else got the red pen out and then put lines through your letter and then sent it back to you. You won't be doing that anymore. No. It'll just be done. I mean, who do you think fails first when the bubble bursts? Is it the startups or the corporates?
I feel it will probably be it will be the startups. It will be the ones that, unfortunately, they have a product that the competition is deeply embedded. Sales versus obviously investment. The outcome is the company's not going to is going to be redundant. It's going to have to obviously close because they just didn't have enough pipeline, not enough interest. Regardless, we see this in any industry. It will be the same for startups as well.
So, I mean, I was slightly different. I was slightly nuanced view to that. I think it depends on. I fundamentally don't think it matters. I think it depends. So, if you have a startup and you can convince, I mean, so when first thing you think about is when the money doesn't just disappear, there becomes less of it, and the people providing it become more discerning. So you can have a startup that's bang on and right, and the person giving you the money sees your vision, understands it, and understands what it is they're getting from it. Then I think that still has a chance to succeed. If you have a corporate, as we've had a couple of, that corporates where they've got 5 or 6 staff but no clients, there's no more money. They've got no clients to leverage against, so there's no business. So they're gone. Another lady approached me last week who had a business, was doing, I think it was 6 or 7 figures worth of turnover, wasn't making any money, but was doing turnover. And I'm like, well, okay, there's something there because you have a proof of concept that this could work going forward. And now it's just a question of scaling what you've got. So I can see that sort of thing changing, but it will be that sort of thing surviving. But to my head, it very much depends. Can you convince, whether a startup or a corporate, can you convince someone coming in that what you've got is worth investing in? And that is the same for everything. So I think we're probably near the end of this. Have you any closing remarks?
No, I think we've covered all bases, unless you have something that you want to add.
I think probably said enough, really. We expect to see more of them. And bubbles are good. You need a good bubble to then start getting the capital repaid or not repaid and starting again.
Yeah, I don't think the bubble's going to burst anytime soon.
I would say people are still going to buy coffee in Seattle.
Yeah.